should be sleeping right now. I'm not, so I'm just going to make a video response to milkeddowncocobrown and his video entitled 2010 Republican Political Strategy. It's a good video. To like the few people who watch my videos and whatnot, go watch that one so you can get the context for this reply, obviously. So, I don't want to respond to the entirety of the video because a lot of it is a bit of an angry rant, and I understand the point of it. And there's some good points made. I just don't feel I have anything necessarily to offer to further that into a discussion, other than like the very beginning of the video, where he or you, if you're watching, happen to be talking about essentially sensationalism within media. And the main reason I want to address this is because, well, in this book, The Prose and Mrs. Rudd, Forgery and Betrayal in 18th Century London, it sort of addresses this. It's a book of history, and I study history, and it's very fascinating in its own, and it talks about how and why this trial of forgery in 18th century London, and 18th century London more specifically in 1776, so the same year that the American Revolution pretty much starts. You have the country of England, the society of England, focused on something completely different. They are focused on this trial and not America. That has plenty of implications in its own, but I think it speaks very highly to the sensationalism of media as a historical concept. Because it's always existed. Now, I'm not trying to say that because it's always existed you shouldn't fight against it, or you shouldn't have an opinion against it, or you should just, lay down and, let it continue and, just, ignore it. But I did just want to point out that this is absolutely nothing new. Sensationalism has existed within media since media existed. Because that's how you get people to read or to view your things, your articles, your stories, your anything else that you publish within media. I mean, we're doing it kind of right now. You and I are currently looking at the sensationalism and sensationalizing the sensationalism so we can kind of get views or people interested in our videos. I'm doing hand movements, I'm kind of stepping around, my voice is a little louder than it might normally be in conversation. It's very dynamic. Every now and then I'll talk a little softer to indicate a certain point, or I'll talk really loudly when it's just like, oh my god, what can you possibly do? Whoa! And stuff like that. Horrible examples of it all, but we're doing it. And you're also doing it. And that doesn't make it bad. I can't stress that enough. Sensationalism is not inherently bad. It's the point of the sensationalism. And at what cost does the sensationalism come? If you have sensationalism that comes at the cost of the country has no idea there's a rebellion going on in your colonies, then it's probably a little bit bad. But if the sensationalism comes at the cost of, I'm sorry, I can't think of a more modern example at the moment. Like I said, I should be sleeping, so I completely apologize for that. But the point is, you have to look at the cost of the sensationalism. Does the sensationalism what does it detract from? What is it trying to hide? If it's trying to hide anything, and things of that nature. And I think in your video, or his video, depending on who's watching this, you cover this very, very well, because you continue to go on and you bring up the fact that the sensationalism sort of covers up and detracts from the issue of race within modern American politics, which I think is a wonderful point, and I'm very glad you did this. But I just wanted to point out that, one, you did this, and two, people should pretty much always do this. So, it was nice talking to you, and it's nice having my first video response since I decided to return from obscurity to continued obscurity here on YouTube, and stuff. Enjoy something.